Hello and welcome to your very first day of your Get Seen and Start Selling challenge. So firstly, let me just say I am super excited to have you here. I'm so glad that you took the step to invest some time into you, into your business, so that you really can grow and start to move forwards. And over these next 7 days, we're going to be covering some really key aspects that are going to help you really move forwards in terms of getting your business seen more, feeling more comfortable in selling your services, getting clearer on your message, and therefore connecting more deeply with your ideal soulmate clients. And it doesn't matter whether you're a coach, whether you're a personal trainer, whether you're an artist, whether you're a network marketer. The key skills are all the same, and the blocks and the ways that we stop ourselves are quite regularly very similar. And so during these 7 days, we're going to be going on a journey together. And we're going to be looking at both the mindset and the strategy, because both have to work hand in hand, right? The mindset is super important. And I always say it's kind of 65%, 75% of the puzzle. Once your head is in the right place with this, once you break through some of those blocks, once you start believing in yourself, once you shift some of the beliefs that have been holding you back, once you get to that place where you really accept yourself and you let go of that judgment that you might be holding on to, then it gets easy. Then it gets super easy, right? Or maybe it's that you don't get to that point just yet where you can actually let go of it, but you know how to deal with it so that it's not big enough to stop you any longer. And that's really important. But along with that, that's great and that's fantastic. But along with it, you want to know the how. And people always kind of said, yes, but how? And so I really want to address over these 7 days the how as well, so that you can take absolute concrete steps towards moving your business forward, towards getting fully booked and beyond in this business that you love. So today we're going to really be looking at the mindset, right? Because it's a perfect place to start. We're going to be looking at the beliefs and the blocks that hold you back from showing up more in your business and from selling with ease, and from that feeling of that's comfortable, right? Instead of feeling icky and uncomfortable about it. So what we're going to look at first are some of those beliefs that might be holding you back. Now, some of you will have heard about beliefs many times before, and you might have already done lots of belief work before. But I honestly believe that when it comes to beliefs, our work is never really done, because not only do we have this huge pot of beliefs that we've been carrying around without even knowing about it. And some of those beliefs are empowering beliefs. Some of those beliefs are neutral beliefs that don't really make much of a difference. And some of those beliefs are negative or unresourceful beliefs. But all of them serve us in some way. That's why we've collected them and we've held on to them. Beliefs are things that we believe to be true about the world, but they're not the absolute truth. They're just what we believe are true. Okay, and that's the key. That's what's really important. It's noticing there's a shift that happens when you recognize that the beliefs that you've got about life, about yourself, about your business, about your worthiness, about what you're capable of, about the people around you, your beliefs that you have about everything are not based on absolute truth. They're just based on your truth in the world that you've been seeing, and the way and the viewpoint that you've come from. And you'll have collected lots of these beliefs when you're young, right? We collect most of these beliefs before we're 7 years old, but we continue to build on them as adults. And so I'm going to get to it in a minute, by the way. But we continue to believe it, to build on them as adults, and we collect evidence that support those beliefs. So if you collect a belief as a child that's, no one listens to me, I feel like I'm invisible, you will subconsciously collect evidence to support that belief. Well, I just said that and no one listened to me. I just did that and no one even noticed what I did. I just did that so-and-so did, but no one took any notice whatsoever. And we take that into adulthood. Like, how come when I make that post, no one comments, but when so-and-so makes that post in her business, she gets like 100 likes. And it can really block us and stop us from taking more action, because then we can get in that whole cycle of, well, what's the point and why do people not like me? And we make up these stories that sit alongside the beliefs that actually can really hold us back. And as I said, some beliefs we have are super powerful. They're amazing. They're what really shapes our lives and allows us to live the way that we have been doing. I've forgotten the absolute quote, but there's a quote about if you take a look at your life, the beliefs that you've got are what's created this life that you've got right now. So your life today is the sum of all the beliefs you have, both resourceful beliefs and unresourceful beliefs. So take a look at where you are and maybe just recognize for a moment, what are some of those empowering beliefs, resourceful beliefs that have helped you get here today? And what are some of those unresourceful beliefs or negative beliefs that have maybe stopped you from doing some of the things that you wanted to do or want to do in the future? So the first thing I want you to do around beliefs, and it doesn't matter if you've done this before, or if it's the first time, don't worry, because I know that everyone in this challenge is going to be at totally different places with this. So even if you've done this like 100 times before, do it again, because there's always new layers, there's always new things that can pop up. So the first question is, what beliefs do you have around being seen and starting to sell? So what beliefs have you got? And we're probably focusing really on the negative beliefs, right? Those beliefs that you've got that are holding you back from doing it more. So maybe you've got beliefs around, well, people will judge me if I'm seen. Maybe you've got beliefs around, deeper beliefs around, in some way it's dangerous because you'll draw attention to yourself and what could happen then. Maybe there's things like, well, I'm not ready, I need to know more, what will people think about me? Maybe it's wrong to be seen. Maybe you've grown up, and certainly school teaches us this, or used to it in lots of ways. It was always about, you've got to fit in, you're not supposed to stand out. So maybe being seen is scary because you've been trying to fit in all your life. Maybe you have fears around, as I said, around that judgment. There could be tons, right? So I want you to think about, what are the beliefs that you've got, and you can put them into two categories if you like. You can put it into beliefs that you've got around being seen and being more visible in your business, and you can put a list of the beliefs you've got around selling. So maybe selling is hard, or selling feels uncomfortable, or people don't like people who sell, or you don't know how to sell, or you don't know what to say. All of those are beliefs, okay? So you can pause this, that's what I'd say, because I don't want to just keep pausing and waiting, because I know some people will whiz through this in a second. But I want you to create two columns, both around the unresourceful beliefs you've got currently in your business, around column 1, being seen more, and column 2, actually selling. So what are those beliefs for you? Do that now. Just grab your paper, put a little thing in the middle of it, and start working through it. And you can either pause me at this point, or you can listen to me as you're doing it. So here's the thing about our beliefs. A little bit like, and if you follow my stuff, you'll have heard me say this before, but a little bit like when we're a child and we imagine that monster under our beds, or the monster in the cupboard, whatever it might be, and we lie there, and in our heads the picture gets clearer and clearer and bigger, and we start feeling really frightened, and we freeze, right? We freeze and we pull the covers up, or maybe we hide under the covers, because suddenly we're imagining this big, huge, really scary monster. And it just gets bigger and bigger. And we've got two choices. Either we can continue to hide away from that monster that we're imagining in our own heads, or we can choose to actually confront our fear and take a real look at it. And that's how beliefs work. You've got the choice. You can either pretend the beliefs aren't there and push them away. So sometimes I'll hear people say, I don't have any negative beliefs, I don't have any unresourceful beliefs. But it's very obvious when you look at their lives that that's not true. They're just not seeing them, they're not looking at them. And sometimes that can be fear, sometimes it can just be a block. So really dive deep in this, and it might be something that you want to do a few days on the run to get a bit deeper, and it's a bit like an onion, right? Peel back a few layers so that you can get deeper to the real stuff that will make a difference. But like with that monster under our bed, when we actually look at it, we realize that it's not even true. So often those unresourceful beliefs we're holding on to aren't even really very true when you start looking at them properly. So what I'd like you to do, and what I'm encouraging you to do around this, is actually look at those beliefs and ask yourself, what is true about this belief and what is not true about this belief? What is absolute rubbish? So that's like the next step. What's true, what's not? And just like that monster under the bed, when you actually look, there's nothing there. It's like, what was I so afraid of? And it can feel like a huge weight lifts off your back, because maybe not all of them, right? But a lot of those beliefs that you might be writing down, there's just not enough truth in them for it to be something that's actually worrying you, for something that's making you feel anxious about it, for something that's holding you back. Because I know when we talk about visibility, because that's what it is, right? Being more visible in your business so that people can see you. When we talk about visibility, people automatically start feeling worried, because they automatically start questioning, well, am I good enough, and what will people think, and what will people say? And we can make up excuses around, well, I haven't got dressed up today, so I can't do a Facebook Live, or I haven't got time to do this or do that, or I can't do a Facebook Live because I haven't, I haven't got anywhere to sit or be interesting, or it can be crazy little excuses, but I'm sure you know them. And visibility isn't just online, right? So it's not just on your Facebook Lives or your Facebook posts, your Instagram, your other things like that. It's also in person. Visibility, we need to be more visible. We need to be seen more outside in the real world too. So do you tell people about the business that you've got? Are you open and vibrant about it? Do you share from that place of excitement and fun, or do you almost feel a little bit embarrassed, and you almost have that like, well, actually I'm a this, or I do a that, or a whatever, and you kind of a bit kind of apologetic about it, and you hold back about it? So I'm going all over the shop, which I do sometimes. But so what are those beliefs? And how are they holding you back? And have a look at them. What truth is there in them? Now, some of them, as I said, there will be some truth. So for example, you might say, well, I'm scared of being seen more, or I'm worried about being seen more because I think people will judge me. Now, there is some truth in that, right? Some people will judge you because that's what some people do. But the question is, there's different kinds of judgment, right? Some people are going to look at you and be like, wow, that's so amazing. She's out there, she's doing that, she's like following her heart, she's following her dream, she's being so brave, like that's amazing. There's going to be people who have like empowering judgment and really nice judgment, who are like, wow, like go, that's fabulous. And then yes, there's going to be people who judge you who might go, well, who is she to say that? But you know what, that's because they're dealing with their own stuff. That's actually nothing about you. And so the next question that you need to ask yourself is, what's the most important thing about this? Is it more important to stop myself from doing what I want, to build my business, to follow my dream, to make this happen? Is it more important to let that fear of that judgment, for example, stop me from doing that, stop me from living the life that I want to live? Or are those couple of people who might judge me are they going to be the thing that stops me? Am I going to allow that to stop me? Or is it more important for me to live a life of my choosing, for me to follow my dreams, for me to feel alive, for me to let go of that worry and that fear, and instead feel free to be just totally me and live life by choice and live the life of my choosing and fill it with fun and love and laughter, and not worry about this little thing called judgment? Because it doesn't help us in any way. It just holds us back. And those people who will judge you negatively, why are you worried? Why are you worried about them at all? And so I want you to just be really aware of that, because that's a huge thing that comes up for people. A lot of the time, the reason they're not being seen more, the reason they're not talking more about the business, the reason they're not, shouting about all these exciting things that are happening is because of fear of judgment. And yes, sometimes fear of failure and other bits like that, but fear of judgment is probably, in my experience, the number one thing that holds people back. So, take a look at it and just choose, because it's a choice. So that's the first one. Uncover your beliefs, see what's going on. Are they true? Are they not? And if they are true, what's the most important thing to remember? The second thing is, I want you to set an intention for how you go about these 7 days. What do you personally want to get from this training? What do you want to get from the challenge? What do you want to be free to be able to do by the end of these 7 days that will really empower you, so that you'll feel like you really feel you're free, you can move forwards, you're ready to do more in your business, so that you can be seen more, so that you can share your message more, so you can talk about what it is that you have to sell more, so you can do it with ease, and so that you can grow your business to where you really want it to be. I want you to set your own personal intention around it. And what I would love you to do is, after this, after you finish watching this recording, I'd love you to go into Dreamcatchers and I'd like you to state it. So I'd like you to put hashtag Get Seen Start Selling Day 1. So hashtag Get Seen Start Selling Day 1. And I'd like you to put your intention for these 7 days. And I can't wait to read those. I'm really excited. And it's going to help other people as well. So when you share that, it's going to inspire other people to do the same and share it. So if you're the first one and you're like, no one's commented yet, no one's done this, just jump in and do it, because it's actually really important. And it's also training yourself to just do it. Don't overthink it. Don't over worry about it. Just take action. Just do it. And it literally is reprogramming your mind to, instead of getting worried and stuck in that thought and that worry, you just jump in. You have the thought, you do it. You have the thought, you do it. You don't hold back. You don't over worry about it. So that's the second thing that I'd like to do. The third thing, okay, this is called, or I'm calling this, the success wheel of getting fully booked. And this is where we have a look at where you are right now, because for you to know that you've moved forward, you need to see where you are now, and you need to see it clearly. And so often we don't take a moment to look at where we are right now before we start moving forward, but then we don't always recognize how far we've come, and then we can beat ourselves up and be like, well, I should be further, and I should be this, and I should be that. But actually, if you look back, you go, wow, look what I've already achieved, and look how far I've already come. And so I really want to take a moment with you now to do that. So what I'd like you to do, again, with your paper in your journal, whatever it is you're using, I'd like you to draw a circle in it. Hang on, I can show you here. Mine. Draw a little circle, and I want you to segment the circle into 8 bits. And then I want you to think, because you've all got different businesses, so what those segmented bits are going to be is going to be unique to you. I don't want you just to copy what I'm saying. What I suggest might be perfect for you, in which case, yes, use it. But if you think, that's not quite right for my business, tweak it and change it accordingly. So the idea about this is each of those segments is about representing an area of your business, which, when all those areas are working fully together, will mean that you are fully booked, will mean that your business is where you want it to be, okay? So some of those areas that I've actually done a bit of a list myself. So it's things like mindset, because I mentioned at the beginning, I think that mindset is super important. It's got to be there as number one. So one of my segments would be mindset. The second segment would be my ideal client. Am I clear on who my ideal client is? Do I know how I'm speaking to that client? Do I know what they want? Do I know the problem that I solve for them? And you might be thinking, oh, well, I just sell makeup, or I just sell jewelry. I don't solve a problem. But oh, yes, you do. You absolutely do. So don't underestimate the problem that you can solve for people. The third thing that I've put is offer. So what's the offer? What's the thing that you're selling? Are you really clear on that? And you might have numerous offers, right? But you still need to know how you talk about that particular thing and how you show the value of it in people. So the third one could be offer. The next one I put as core message, because I think that we all have a core message as part of our business. My core message is that I believe that mindset is key. Mindset is number one. You've got to get your mindset in the right place first to enable you to take the action. And not overthink the action, right? So I believe that everything starts with mindset, and that actually you already have everything inside of yourself that you need. You just need to give yourself that permission to go, yes, I am ready. I am going. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So what's your core message? Do you know? Have you even thought about it before? The next thing is visibility and getting your business seen. So where are you currently seen? And this isn't how you want it to be. This is where it is now. And these are just the segments of what you're going to put. I'm going to tell you what you're doing with them in a second. So visibility and getting your business seen, how visible you are, where you talk about your business, where you share your business, where you show up. The next section I've got is selling with soul. And what I mean by that, that's something that I talk about a lot within my business and with my clients. And what I mean by that is selling from that heart-centered place whereby you know that you can really help this person. So it's not oh my God, I need to make this sale. Oh my gosh, I need to earn X amount this month, or it's not about that, because yes, that does feel icky and it's not in alignment probably with your values, which is why you're here. We need to sell from that place of soul, from that heart-centered place where we go, I know I've got something of value that can transform your life in some way. And it's when you truly believe that and you tap into that belief and you know that you really can help that person, that's when you sell with soul, because that's when you can say, hand on heart, I believe that this can truly help you, and that the knock-on effect of you saying yes to this can totally change so many things about how you live your life going forwards. So, can you currently, do you sell with soul? Is it something that you've been struggling with? That's the next area. Another area might be client care. So once you've got those clients, how well are you looking after them? Have you got a system in place? Do you take time for your clients? Most people are normally good at this bit, right? People in this area are normally great at the client care. They find it more difficult in terms of the selling bit. And then the final one could potentially be, I've probably given you more than 8 there, could be consistency, because it's all well and good to do something for the first time, and actually that's better than nothing, right? But we also need to be consistent about it. It's not just showing up maybe for a week and doing a Facebook Live every day for a week, which would be fabulous, by the way, but then not doing anything for the next 3 months, because that consistency is really important in terms of building the relationship. You don't meet a friend once, like when it's a new relationship, and then disappear and not speak to them for ages and expect to be great friends the second time that you meet. So it's about building that relationship, and that's why consistency is really important. So taking a while to explain that, but all that I really like you to do at this point is go around your wheel and decide which segment is which. So mindset, ideal client, offer, core message, visibility and getting your business seen, selling with soul, client care, consistency. They're what I would use. You can change them, twist them around, whatever. And then you go around each of those segments, and you're going to give it a score out of 10 for how fully you're doing that now in your business. Okay. So 1 is not at all. You're not doing it all. 10 is you're doing a flipping amazing job at it. Okay. Or it's be really honest with yourself. Go through each of those. So mindset, for example, you might say, well, I read books around mindset. I read books around personal development. Maybe you've had a bit of coaching, or you've done little bits of bobs, but I know that I need to do more work on my belief. I know that I could give myself more permission. I know that I could, move forward with this. So I'm going to give it a 6, for example. You might say, ideal client. Oh gosh, never even thought about that. I just thought I was selling skincare. Anyone's my client. I haven't thought about it in terms of having an ideal client, because surely everyone washes their face. So it might be that you haven't thought about that. And yes, everyone washes their face, but within that, you're going to have an ideal client who's going to be the person that really loves your products and really wants to buy them, as opposed to just tries it or does this or does that. So everyone has an ideal client, and it really helps to tap into that. So maybe if that's the place that you're at with it, maybe you're at a 1 or a 2, versus you might have done quite a bit of work on this. You might be like, yeah, my ideal client is boom, 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 boom. So you give it a high score. You get the picture, right? And again, with this, it'd be great if you shared this in the group, because this is about that interaction. It's about that accountability. Now, if you do your wheel and you're a bit of a private person, there's no pressure on you to go and share this in the group. But I think it would be great if people did share it in the group, because then we all have an understanding, and I have an understanding of where you're at and what you really need to help you move forwards. I can see very clearly, like, what are those lower areas where if we just tweaked it a little bit, things could move forwards and you could grow your business much more quickly. So I'd like you to go do your wheel of success, your fully booked wheel of success. See how you go with it. If you've got any questions, message me. You can message me through Facebook. You can send me an email. I'm always here, and I want to support you as fully as possible during this challenge. Lastly, I will be on a Facebook Live later today. So if you've got any questions, hop on live with me, pop them in the comments, and share your stuff in the group. So feel free to take a photograph of your wheel of success so that we can see that and inspire other people with it and have that accountability around it, and share what your intent is for these 7 days of the program. Now, this video has been a bit long today, so thank you for being with me the whole time. I will try to keep them a bit shorter and sweeter in the future, and I will see you on the next 6 days of the challenge. Take care. Bye.